here. Thank you so much for attending tonight's Webinar Wednesday. Welcome. If this is your first time on our Webinar Wednesday, you should be seeing some funky screens. I'm going to be navigating and going back and forth between many of the screens that we're going to be using today. So you should be able to see my entire screen. In addition, guys, chat is enabled. So I do have my phone next to me if you want to text me, but right here on the side of the screen, if this is the first time on my chat, on my webinars, you can actually type hi. So just doing a quick sound check. Want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Thank you for joining and thank you for being part of Webinar Wednesday. So just give me a quick shout out, give me a quick hi, letting me know that you guys can actually hear me and that we are ready to get started with tonight's Webinar Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining, guys. So just checking in, and if you can just type in a quick hi, I appreciate it. Awesome. Hey, Sandy and Greg. So good to not see you guys, but be here with you guys, right? Thank you guys for being here and being so committed to your professional development. Awesome. So sound check is good. Let's go ahead and get going, guys, because we have some pretty exciting stuff to talk about today. This is being pre-recorded, and I will post the link as well. So please follow along as we talk about some of the new ways that we're staying on top of mind with our clients and also lead generating. So today specifically, I'm going to focus on two main programs. It is Adwerx and Zillow, two completely different beasts used for strategizing for two completely different types of campaigns. And I will show you exactly how you can maximize on this and how to make it work for you. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So first and foremost, Adwerx and Berkshire Hathaway have made an incredible partnership where you do get discounted rates. You do get coupons a lot. So check your email to see if they're doing any promotions. Just search Adwerx in your email. Many times they're doing like 25% off, or, you know, buy this and get that. And it'll make sense as I go through the entire program so you know how it works exactly. So through Adwerx, of course, you can go to adwerx.com and look at the site. But the best thing for you to do, especially because you're a Berkshire agent and you get special pricing, is you log into your VAC system. So this is our VAC system, internet.bhhsac.com. And you have your passwords for all of this great stuff. And then when you click on marketing right here, you actually have a link that takes you right into Adwerx. When you click on Adwerx, it takes you to the website. Now, what I'm going to go over today specifically are the different ways realtors are using Adwerx today to lead generate and stay top of mind. For me, Adwerx, the most powerful way to use Adwerx actually is as a database, as an added value to your database, so that you can basically stay in front of people through ads wherever they search and navigate on the internet. It does do lead generation, which I'll go into right now per zip codes. But I think Adwerx for me, the most valuable thing that it does is branding and marketing, and again, staying top of mind. And as I show you the products, which are pretty cool, there's a few things that I think down the road could actually even, you know, replace some of the things that we're doing today. Of course, if somebody gives you their phone number, you need to call them. You need to make that personal touch. Otherwise, they will not work with you. But, you know, this is a great way to really harness and cultivate those leads that are perhaps not ready to buy, as well as stay in touch with your past clients and your sphere of influence. So when you get onto the website here, and if you guys have any questions, feel free and typing them in on the side. I will be navigating back and forth just so that I can check the questions. And of course, my phone is next to me, so feel free in reaching out. So Berkshire Hathaway Home Services negotiated a 25% discount for you. So 25% discount on any of their products. So you can do the chat box as far as getting pricing and all of that. I'm not going to go over that. I'm going to talk about the specific products and how you can use them. So when you click on products, you can see the different ways we can use this system. You can do it for ads first listing. So basically, you can advertise your listing to people that have, one second, sorry, I got a text message here. All right, cool. So anyhow, so for these listings, we just can market them even more. And how do we do this, guys? So you want to associate your brand with these listings, and these clients can refer to you to other premium listings. For, of course, older listings that are just not moving and you need to get more marketing and more exposure. And for those challenging clients where you want to give them back reports of what it is that you are actually doing. And it's really easy to do, and it actually does target. It does not work like Facebook where it has behaviors involved, but you can definitely target the marketing of these listings in demographic areas and specific areas, in geographical areas, excuse me. And so you're able to get in front of people that are more likely to actually buy this home. This is not one of my favorite features of the system of Adwerx, but I think it's still added value to your clients, and especially if you're getting a discount through us. I think for some particular listings, you're just gonna have to go this route, and you're gonna have to go very many different routes. You know, maybe you may need to do Facebook advertising as well as Adwerx, right? But this is particularly for, you know, this one particularly is not branding. It's about exposure to the actual listing. Again, it is not my favorite. I think that there's other ways we can market the listings that are more effective and that can cost you a lot less money, but it is easy to do, and it does give you traction because you basically just enter the listing here and you're able to just keep moving forward and forward with the process. I will pull up one from ours just so that you can see what it looks like. I do not have an Adwerx account, so I can't go into the full process of it, but it is super easy to use. So let me just log in real quick here and just let me pull one of our listings. I have a lot of cool listings with some of my agents. So let me see here, because when you actually list your own home, you are mandated to put me as a co-lister. Just an FYI, guys. That's a little bit of extra information here, right? So let me go here and let me find a listing that I can actually pull and show you how that works. So we have a couple here, 5239 West Cinnabar. Let's try that one. So when you go through the system, you're actually going to plug in the address here, 5239 West Cinnabar. There it is. And it takes you now to promote this listing. Now, they do create the ad for you. So this is not like Facebook where you're sending them to your website or you're creating a landing page that actually enables you to give them a message or tell them about the property, and then you track their traffic or collect their information. For this, it's very, very different because based on the address, you're basically able to just review your ad just from the address. So it's already listed in the MLS, so it's easy. This is the image that's going to be shown. This is the contact info for the agent, and then the property. You can change the image. You can change your own image. You can play with some of the colors, but in essence, this is really what the ad is going to look like. There's not a lot of other things that you're going to do. And you can change the headline. Your headline is 70% of your entire ad, guys. You can spend some time on Google and researching, you know, headlines that convert, because let me tell you, headlines that catch the consumer's attention, which could include sometimes fear, you know, buyer beware, or you don't want to miss this listing in West Wing. Check out this home before you look at any others, you know, things of that nature. You can do some research on Google to get some of the best headlines out there that you can use. But primarily, these are really the only things that you can change. You can only change the image. You can change your image, the colors, and then a bit of the verbiage. It does have maximum fields, so this is too long as it is. So even if I went to approve and continue, it would not allow me. Berkshire Hathaway is too long. That's what it's going to tell me. So see, I would just put in here. Oops. And because we have a partnership through them, it's all coded and color coded to what we already our look already. So it's really neat. So I would just put BHHSAC, and then I would hit approve and continue. And then this is where it takes you to the next spot. Where do you want to target your ad? Within 15 miles radius of the property. That's what's usually recommended, especially right now, you guys. If you guys missed out on my business planning clinic, I am so sorry you missed it, because we had an incredible presentation from Cromford Report, who she's a local analyst, Tina Tambor with the Cromford Report, and she is incredible. Guys, you guys better be holding on to your seats, because we are getting ready to get into the best year in real estate 2017 that we've had in a very long time, which means there's going to be a lot of churn, which she calls. Lots of people moving around close to their areas, you know, buying new builds because of the energy efficiency. Many new build new builders are promoting this and spending a lot of marketing dollars to get in front of the consumer so that people are realizing, hey, I need to sell and get into something better instead of remodeling my home. So we have a lot of activity. We maybe appreciation is not climbing like back in the day, 20, 30% every year. We're healthy between 4 and 8% in most of the valley. But what's really cool for you guys is that transaction volume is going up tremendously. So yes, you can tell your seller, perhaps you're not having the best year in appreciation. You're still appreciating, by the way. You're not depreciating. Maybe the market is adjusting based on your purchase price. But guess what, guys? I'm having the best year ever. As a realtor, let me tell you, you better position yourself and you better be ready because 2017 is going to demand a lot from you. There is going to be volume and there's going to be people that are going to need you to get them into specific homes. So the strategy here is really to target this listing within a 15-mile radius of the property, and that's highly recommended. If you are someone that has already been digitally marketing to your farm or in a specific area, and perhaps you've really studied the behaviors within that area, then you may want to specify specific cities. I'll give you guys an example. For example, we were over at Estancia. Estancia, the new build community is telling us that a lot of their buyers are actually coming from the Troon area. They're going from this very expensive golf course membership to now, paying a lot less of Estancia for their membership and still having the same amenities and an incredible place to live. And then also with what Tina reported yesterday with the Cromford report, we have so many companies relocating here to the Valley, especially Peoria, all the way to the I-17 corridor, Anthem, Tremonto, which I'll share this PowerPoint with all of you. So perhaps you want to specify that your particular ad, because you know where the buyers are coming from in this neighborhood. Perhaps you want to take this out to maybe Canada, or maybe you want to target, Scottsdale. But most of the time, you're going to just stick to this within 15-mile radius of the property. And then you click next. Eventually, it's going to ask you for the credit card. So when it gets us to that point, we'll stop. And then you would enter the website here. Where do you want them to come back to after they click on your ad? Now, this is crucial, guys. The one thing you want to do is send them back to your Berkshire website. But you got to make sure, guys, that your Berkshire website is equipped. It has the widget installed that actually asks and prompts people to give you their contact info before they get to look at all the good stuff. If you don't do this, they will not give you their contact info. Other places you can send them to is your Facebook business page. If it's very active, they can take a look there, but there's no way they're going to capture their info on there, because unless you install widgets into your Facebook fan page to make it work like a landing page, they're just not going to give you their info. LinkedIn profile, same thing with like Facebook, and a profile page on the company website. You don't want to do that. You want to take them directly to your website. So I would plug in my website here. I'm just going to put BHHCCC. I'm going to click next. And if I'm going too fast, please stop me. So this is a sample of what they would charge you. So launch date as soon as possible. 1 week would cost you $36.75. And then this is what the ad would look like. And this is where they're going to take them afterwards. Now, one of the things that I would do, and I don't have pricing because I don't work for Adwerx, is before I would do any of this, I would chat with them right here on the side, or I would call them and I would say, if I'm going to pay $36.75 for 1 week, what does that guarantee me? Because they should have numbers for you guys. They should say how many impressions, how many clicks, what to expect actually as a return on investment for your $36. But in all, you should be having a good exposure to the property, and this should be it could be part of your marketing, for your seller, and to be able to report back and say, look, this is where my marketing dollars are going. You don't got to tell them how much you're spending, but you can tell them what you're doing to expose their home. So I'm not going to continue with this, but this is how you would market your listings in Adwerx. Is there any questions on this particular product? This is not my number one favorite. It's cool, but I just wanted to show you this really quick. So let me go back here to the chat and let me know if you have any questions at all. All right, I think we're good. Okay, so let's keep going to the other products. So we have a lot to cover today. So the one product that I love Ads by zip code, really quickly, guys, it works exactly like Zillow, which I'm gonna get into. And they charge you a certain dollar amount based on what zip code you're actually buying. And what does that mean? That this ad right here is gonna, and it's just this, guys, and it then sends them back to your website. It's gonna have your picture, but it's gonna follow them all around the internet sites that they actually navigate through. So very different from Facebook. You know, Facebook, we're marketing. The power of Facebook is that we use behaviors, we can use very targeted specific words, keywords to actually get in front of people based on their income, based on, you know, how long they've even lived on their home. The technology is insane, right? But with this, what it does is it still keeps you on top of mind. So for example, if you're farming a particular area, let's say you're farming West Wing, then you want to get in that zip code, and it will take the whole zip code. It doesn't do neighborhoods. And now your ad is actually going to follow people around on the internet versus just on Facebook that are actually, they don't do a lot of the behaviors that Facebook does, but basically just keeps you top of mind of anybody who you don't know yet in your farm area. So every zip code costs a different amount of money, but you would basically plug in here. Let me just see what it tells me so you guys can get an idea. So Peoria, Arizona, I'm gonna say check zip code availability. So it's telling me here, multiple matches from Veronica and choose enter your own. So it's gonna give you your information. I have a ton because it depends on actually your name and if there's anybody other using it. But just to give you an idea, for Buckeye, web ads, $45, mobile. They actually are now incorporating Facebook ads. This is new, guys. They didn't have this before, but these are the available spots. Before I pay anything, guys, before I even invest, and this is 45 per month, this is 52 per month, this is 60 per month if I in Goodyear, Peoria, and Buckeye. And so before I would do any of that, let's just say that I want to do Peoria, this one. I don't think it's going to give us the stats on the next page. I would definitely call them first. I'm going to click next just to see what it tells me. Oh, I think it just told me over there. 1 second on the side. How many impressions? I'm all about the impressions and what I'm going to get. Oh, here we go. So as you're clicking through the sites, you see this on the side. It tells you what you're going to get for this 5175. So you are guaranteed a total ad views per month of 10,000. So that's 5175, divide that by 10,000. And then as you're using the system, then you can track and see what your return on investment actually is. So play with the zip codes and see what it's gonna get you. But again, it's not really content marketing because you're not really necessarily providing this incredible, valuable information or incredible, valuable marketing piece that will engage and will get them to give you their contact info. What you're really doing is just putting a picture of yourself wherever they go, and basically just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and hoping that that makes you, that the perception, actually not hoping, but really the perception is that, you know, you are the go-to person in that area. So play with your different zip codes and see what they charge. They have a lot. Remember, these ads are being shown to people in that zip code. Zillow is a little bit different because Zillow is a website where people search, and many more people, there's much more traffic on Zillow, which is why Zillow will charge you a lot more per zip code. I mean, in Zillow, if this is $45, I bet you anything if you checked a Zillow zip code that you wanted to buy, which your ad would say in front of them, or actually not even an ad. In Zillow, the difference is that per zip code, you're being shown as a realtor on the side, and I'll show you guys that when we get in here, as a realtor on the side. You know, when you look at the listings right here, and then you have like 5 realtors to pick from on the side. So the reason that there's 3 or 5 realtors on there is because they're paying to show up on all listings based on that zip code. So it's a completely different approach. Adwerx is saying, I'm going to show your ads to people that live in this 85382 zip code. You're going to get 10,000 web views per month, and it's going to cost you X amount of money. So it's a little bit of a different approach. So that is that one, but I really want to focus on my favorite one for Adwerx. And I think this is really powerful, that it really does complement your database tremendously. And there's also a lot of strategies that we can do around this one. So ads for your sphere. That is my favorite for AdWorks. If I used AdWorks, I would use it only for this. So what this is, guys, is that this system, basically, you can claim my free advertising, click here. But what this system does is you can actually upload an Excel sheet, a CSV file, that will now, your ads, excuse me, click here. 1 second here, guys. Okay, so you still have 2 days of free advertising left. So actually they give you like a complimentary kind of like use of their program. Your ad is gonna look like this. It's not gonna change at all. It's basically just gonna have your phone number. It's gonna have your picture, which you can change. And you can change a couple of things like we did in the other one. Anything you can change is basically white. And you can start playing with it and seeing what you like, right? So this is what the consumer is going to see pretty much. But the cool thing about this one, guys, is that now you're telling them where to go back after they see your ad, and these ads are following people all over the internet. But here's the thing, guys, that you can add your contacts in there. So think about it this way. First of all, if you're not running a database in your real estate business, you're not running a business. That's number one. And all of you guys have the access to the virtual access center. I've helped many of you guys, put people in groups. People need to go into your database. You need contact information because you are playing the numbers game basically with your database. Number two is with your database, you can export, a CSV file and actually upload your contacts onto Adwerx, or you can even just have them do it for you. They're great customer service. You can call them and say, look, here's my list. I don't know what to do with it. Can you help me? And what this does, guys, is that instead of your ads showing up to a zip code, or instead of your ads showing up to a particular geographical area, your ads are now being shown actually to people that you've uploaded based on their email addresses. So it follows these people around the internet based on their contact info. Why this is so powerful is because if you have a database and you're emailing them once a month with a newsletter, or if it's a new lead, maybe you're more aggressive and you're doing the buyer campaign at 1 touch a week or whatever that looks like, right? This is an additional way to actually stay top of mind. So not only are they gonna hear from you, from your database, from your emails, they're gonna hear from you from text, from phones, from pretty much anything else that you're using, but they're also gonna see you around the internet. And the perception is everything, right? So they're gonna say, wow, this person really is the go-to person in this industry or in this neighborhood, right? So it's super powerful in that matter. There's also other ways to strategically use this, guys. Many of us have compiled a list of for sale by owners, a list of emails of expireds. And so now you can tell them, you can stay in front of them also digitally through here. And you can also, when you're sending them to a website, you can send them to a place on your website, like your blog area or somewhere where you can create something of value that they can actually take, for an expired listing. Maybe they want to understand, maybe they want to have a copy of your seller's advantage report, which you can print and use from the resource center. That's our national hub. And, now they can see. You can do something like, do you know how many people are already looking for a home just like yours? And if you're targeted to expireds, if you have their email addresses, now they go to this report and they see, wow, this realtor has a report of traffic, of website traffic, of people who are already looking for a home from me. And now I can, now this is information that is actually valuable to me that I can use. The most common ones are, what's your home worth? If you have a list of people, of emails that you actually are targeting within a geographical area, what's my home worth? Now take them somewhere on your website that's giving them the opportunity to request their home value. But the most powerful way, I believe, is for your sphere of influence. Your past clients, current clients, leads that haven't qualified, leads that haven't sold yet. This way, if you upload your list, you're staying on top of mind with very little effort. And it's pretty inexpensive, guys. Once you get through the process of adding the contacts, I believe the last time I asked, maybe we can even click on here and they'll tell us, but it was only like for 5,000 contacts that you upload, it was only like $32 per month. So it was not expensive. It's in addition to your database. It does not replace your database, but it's an additional way to stay in touch. You know, when I share with you guys my farming calendar, on my farming calendar, my geographical farming calendar, I show you like 6 to 7 different ways to stay in front of your people, right? In person, digitally, on the phone, through open houses, through community events, et cetera, et cetera. This is another way that you can actually stay in touch. So get creative with this, build an email list that you can now stay in front of. In addition to your database, now you can actually stay in front of through Adwerx. So it's really easy to use, guys. You literally would just add the contacts and then you would go to the next step and pay and you're done. And now the same ads that we were talking about are going to show up in front of them so that they are sure to stay in front of, or that you are on top of mind. So it looks something like this. But of course, you guys can change all of this. I would definitely change Real Estate Pro. That is like kind of tacky. Sales executive, realtor, whatever you want to call yourself. Buying or selling a home, that's part of the headline, right? So maybe if this is your sphere of influence or past clients, maybe your message should be, you know, who do you know that wants to sell or buy? Or maybe you want to say something like, you know, down payment assistance available in Peoria, or whatever you want to say, you know, that's going to actually get them to look at your ad. And if you do that, you know, when you're sending them to the site, send them to something relevant. Don't just send them to your general domain, you know, veronicaberrigan.bhhsiz.com. You want to send them something that's relevant that they can actually get of value. So to me, in my opinion, Adwerx is the best. For Adwerx, this is the best way to use it. I don't think for lead generation, I don't think for anything else. This is all about branding and marketing and branding and marketing. And if you already have a good email list, this is very, very powerful to stay on top of mind, because you're not just staying in front of them through Facebook. You're actually going and following them through the different avenues or the different searches that they actually do online. So any questions about this? Because we are getting ready to roll on to Zillow. Tell me if you guys have any questions at all. All right, I think we're good then. Love it. So that's Adwerx for you guys. All right, so now we're gonna move on to beautiful Zillow. So Zillow, as a Berkshire agent, you should know that you don't have a premium account. A premium account is when you buy a zip code. And yes, and because Zillow has been around for such a long time, the zip codes are not cheap. You know, you can buy a Peoria zip code right now probably from $200 to $300 a month. It's not cheap at all. And is it worth it? I don't know. Most agents that actually pay for a zip code, the biggest reason they do it is for testimonials, because guys, we are living in a brand new era where they're gonna research you. And did you guys know that most consumers will choose an agent, number one, by referral and recommendation, right? But now, because of the digital age, an online testimonial is just as important as a referral. We just found this out yesterday. We were just talking about this at our business planning clinic. So you need to start developing a strategy of how you're going to get these Zillow testimonials. Also, your Zillow testimonials feed onto your website. So everywhere you go, they're going to see this feedback, right? So get them in and get testimonials from people, you know, even if you haven't closed transactions, to tell them about you, who you are, and all that great stuff, right? So with Zillow, as a premium agent, when you buy a zip code, some agents will buy zip codes that perhaps are not, they don't get a lot of impressions or clicks. For example, small little city called Cashin. It's in between Tolleson and Avondale, like nobody knows about it. It's a little small zip code. That zip code is probably only going to cost you like, $40, $50 a month. Why would agents invest in that knowing that there isn't, they're probably not going to get any real leads from it, right? The reason is, and when you do talk to Zillow, they do give you a chart and they tell you how many, what you can expect, et cetera, et cetera. But the reason somebody would pay maybe $50 a month or something even lower, if you can find one that's no one's taken, is because as a premium agent with them, you have what's called coming soon. And coming soon allows you to actually list or pre-list your listings onto their site. And what's good about that, guys, is that if it's not on the MLS yet, but yet, you know, maybe the seller's working on cleaning it, or maybe you just want to try to sell it before it hits the MLS, and it's a great opportunity for you guys to double end it and to actually do both sides of the transaction. Why that's key is because, you know, Zillow has millions of visitors every single month, and that's why they're so powerful, guys. They have huge marketing dollars. Basically, they use targeted marketing based on behaviors. It's very, very technology involved. And so because their marketing budget is so big, people just know Zillow. You go look for, when you want to look for a home, you go to Zillow. And so that's why they charge so much for these zip codes. So if you want to take the benefits of doing the coming soon now, that would be the only reason I would say buy a zip code. Otherwise, what we're going to talk about today is more of just setting up your account and learning how to use it, and learning the opportunities that exist within Zillow to actually lead generate, which there's quite a few of them. So I've already logged in here, but when you log in at the very beginning, I'm gonna just open it here because it does keep you. I'm logged in. Let's go to Zillow.com. You really, in essence, are just gonna create a brand new account. So you're gonna hit join. And then it's gonna ask you if you're a realtor or a consumer. You wanna do a realtor based. So see, you would click this little box and then you would put your email and then who you are and what you do and then your info. That's how you start a Zillow account. It's not much difficult than this. This is all you got to do, and then it takes you to the next steps. So I'm going to close this out. I'm not going to create a new Zillow account because I already have one. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to go back here. This is my account. Once you have an account, which I went through that first process, then you're able to navigate to the agent hub, which is this right here. Oh my God, my mouse. Okay, so now a few things that you're gonna have to do here. First of all, you're gonna have to edit your profile. You need a picture, guys. If you don't have a picture, you're not doing things right. And remember, with Berkshire Hathaway, what we do pay for you is an upgraded membership. So what does that mean? That when you have listings, you will not have, regardless if the other agents paid money to be on that zip code, you will not have other agents competing with you on that listing. So you will be the only one that is actually shown on the Zillow website. I'll show you what that looks like right now. Let me just look up a property and see what we can find. Oh my God, is there a property? Let's see. Oh, the other one, 5239. So as you can see, when somebody looks up that listing, it just opened it and took it away. That was horrible. Carol Clark is the only one that shows up. If you were not with Berkshire, there would be another 3 agents that would show up down here to actually to call and contact, right? So as a listing agent, you absolutely need to have a Zillow account set up with your Berkshire email so that you are the only one that shows up right here. Again, if you were not a Berkshire agent, you would have about 3 other agents coming down right here. It won't let me scroll down, I don't know why. So that's number 1, that's key. Oh, there it is. Number 2 is you actually also, you got to edit your profile. You have reviews. You want to do those a lot. And of course, I have no reviews. So you can write a review, but you're not going to write a review for yourself. And then also, not only that, guys, the system has tests where the reviews are coming from. So you can't get like one client to give you 18 of them with different email addresses, because it actually records their IDX, or where they're coming from, not IDX, where they're logging in from your computer. So it will not allow that to happen. But that's the things that you need to be doing on here. The next thing is on editing your profile. Let's click on edit profile. And I'm sorry, but I don't have any product. Of course, I don't have production on here, so of course that wouldn't happen. So past sales, it'll give you all of that. And yes, the consumer gets to see that. Active listings, et cetera, et cetera. If for some reason your Zillow profile is not showing up or you're the only agent, you just got to let us know, because it may be a back office system where we can actually fix that. We have a really good connection with Zillow. Our COO, Gordon, actually was featured in one of their videos because we're huge supporters, and of course we use it. So we have a good connects that can help you actually make things happen. Now, if you want people to request a review, it's a very easy process. Request a review, and then you would enter your password. Oh my God, I don't even remember what it was, guys, to be honest with you. And then it would take you to the next screen, and you would actually send them the link. So you can email the link over. Let's see if it's this one. I hope. I thought it had me logged in. Let's go back. I have no idea what my password is right now. So you can actually get them to give you reviews. You can share your profile onto like Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can do a few other things. You know, you can add some service areas. I would just keep it open. You can add your license number. We don't mandate that, of course. And then you can just really work on those reviews. That's the number one thing that you want to do on here, and make sure that your listings or your closings are actually equated to you, because again, this is like the Yelp of real estate. People are going on here and checking it out and seeing what you've done in the past. So a few things you can do on there. The dashboard also, when you go back to the dashboard, there's a few other things that you can do. There's a lot of blogging and a lot of different things that you can do, but it's just that easy. It's not really, and this is a post that coming soon listing. Oh, now it's allowing them. Guys, and we were working on this, but I didn't think they were gonna make it available already. You don't even have to pay for a zip code, guys. We are now really, as a company, you are like a premium agent. So post a coming soon listing. So this is powerful, guys. So as your seller is getting the home ready, you want to post it already with a picture of just the front and saying, hey, this listing is coming soon. If you already have pictures, you can do that too. You can tell the seller themselves, you know, we're going to post it first here on Zillow, and then we're going to see what we get, and then we'll put it on the MLS. You can do whatever you want. But the key is that, you know, Zillow, because they have such a high traffic, that you have a high possibility to be able to manage both sides of the transaction. It's actually a really cool thing. So you can gauge buyer interest, line up potential offers, sell the home a lot faster, of course. And it's exclusive to only premier agents, which is why some agents pay, you know, the $50 a month or whatever they're paying for their zip code. Oh, look at, no, it hasn't been fixed yet, guys. You still have to become a premier agent, okay? So I thought it was already, we're working on that. That's one of the things we're negotiating with them. Because we do pay extra, we want them to at least allow you guys to do the coming soon. We have a management retreat in Vegas next month, December 5th and 6th. This is one of the big topics we're talking about. And like I said, our CEO, Gordon, is very involved with Zillow. He has great connects over there. So he is really, really negotiating for us so that we don't have to pay this extra. So just hold off if you're thinking of buying a zip code. Give me until the end of the year so I can figure out to see if we're going to actually make this happen. So that's really your hub, guys. It's not that difficult to actually make it happen. What I really want to show you next is finding opportunity actually on Zillow. So I don't understand. See, it's showing me as a premier agent. So I don't understand why it's already showing me that way if I'm not allowed to do the post coming soon. It's very interesting. It does keep all of your leads. And guys, expect to get leads from Zillow because they do come. And so you have like a database of the leads that are coming through. You can even put them in a drip system inside Zillow, believe it or not. There are ways that once you get a lead, you would click on it. And actually, we converted this one. I remember this one. Takes you to the listing. Takes you to all the great things around it. But it is a nice little like additional. I would not put my database in here. I would just transfer it into my VAC because I wouldn't want Zillow to have access to my database, period. So you can reply from here. You can reply from your email. It does go directly to your email once you do get a lead. So you don't have to necessarily be checking the system over and over again. You can add your contacts like I was telling you about. What is wrong? You can check your settings. But the biggest thing is just create your account with your email address and make sure that it's working, and then get ready for the leads. The next step is really for you to get listings so you can actually make that happen. All right, so let's look at some other things in Zillow that I really like. Opportunity, right? Oh my goodness, my mouse is really... All right, so let me show you. Oops. This is what the consumer sees when they actually search, okay? So for me, the biggest thing that I think is pretty powerful is every day I would be checking this. I could put in a zip code. I could put in, you can't put a neighborhood, you could put a zip code or a city. But if I put Peoria, Arizona, now it's bringing up any property in Peoria, Arizona. But if I go to listing type, I'm gonna do by owner only. So that means I can actually get a list of FSBOs on here. And then the next one I wanna absolutely do is make me move. Because make me move, it's not a for sale by owner, guys. Most of them will say, you know, my Zillow estimate says that my house is worth $500,000, but if you give me $690, I will move. So these are people that you treat very differently. A FSBO or by seller by owner is somebody who actually wants to sell, and they actually want to sell at that price, and they're very, very interested. So it's a different type of approach. But let me just give you an example of how many leads are sitting in Peoria, Arizona for you guys to go target today, okay? So based on that, oops, sorry. I'm gonna see what else I have over here. Nothing. Oh, no more than 5 acres. Let's see. Home type. Houses. I only want houses. And just in Peoria, guys, we have 5. We have 1, 2 for sale by owners, and 3 make me moves. So how would I approach these? For sale by owners, I've done a webinar specifically on this, guys. So you can find them in your neighborhood to go after them, right? Check values. You know, I have a for sale by owner survival kit that you can deliver to them. It's about strategizing. It's about finding these people on here and then developing a follow-up campaign of what you're going to deliver to them for a minimum of 8 aggressive weeks, 1 time a week. And it's going to be a combination of phone calls. It's going to be a combination of showing up. It's going to be a combination of digital advertising if they have their email on here, right? Which they do, most of them. Have their contact info at the bottom, actually. Property owner. Actually, she doesn't have it, but some of them actually have their phone number and all that great stuff. These are the people that have paid for that zip code to be on here. And so this is a strategy of, you know, converting these FSBOs. The make me moves, now those are exciting, guys. You know, they may not be ready, but I want you guys to approach these in your neighborhoods as you're developing a relationship. That's really all you're doing. You're calling them and you're asking them. There's some great videos on YouTube about these make me move type of people. But basically you're calling them and finding out motivation. You know, if you could sell at this, would you? Or, you know, you're having a conversation, you're following the scripts. You're what I call is using forward. And what forward means is that you're developing a relationship by focusing on their family, on their occupation, on their dreams, and, you know, what do they do for fun, right? And so you're really just developing that connection, because guys, when we did our business plan yesterday, it was about contacts, right? How many contacts do I need to actually put into my database to funnel them through my follow-up system to close one deal. So what you're doing is that maybe you're not converting right there and there, and then, which is the same for Facebook because it's a long-term relationship, right? Until you get them to actually convert. But they also know other people that may be interested in selling or buying, or if you're developing this type of relation, you're the go-to person that has called them every week with valuable information. And what do you give these people valuable information? You give them market trends. You tell them about something that just got listed and just got sold. You tell them about what's happening in the neighborhood, right? And this is what they find of value. And then you really, with time, that's why it's important to have a follow-up strategy, at least of 8 weeks with any of these types of leads. With time, you get to really learn the motivation, and you get to learn what it is that they really want to do. And it may not be them selling necessarily, but it could be someone else within their area. So these are pretty powerful as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I only put up to 200,000, guys. So if I would have gone up big time, that's just 5 of that. Let me go up to 2 million. Here, let me just do any price. How's that? 32 hot leads in Peoria waiting to be called by all of you. For sell by owner. And no, we did a whole class on this. You're not calling them to tell them you have a buyer. If you don't have a buyer, follow the scripts, guys. Follow the scripts and bring something of value. I've shared a lot of information on that with you guys. So there's a ton of them. There's 32 for sell by owner. For sell by owner, there's another make me move. And this is what's interesting. This looks like a brand new home, so I have no idea how I made it here. But you can get an idea. It says they want 415, but Sesame is giving them 394. Most of them are like that. Before you call or you talk or whatever, you got to get as much information as possible so that you can actually sound educated and not just be like, oh, hello, I'm just calling because I saw you on Zillow and now I'm going to list your house. That's not the approach, guys. We need to come with from a place of value. So like, look at this one, 259, and the estimate says 224. Zillow has been really working hard on this estimates because we know that usually Zillow is about 20 to 30% above what really the market is saying. But apparently from where our COO went for these meetings, they're saying that they're getting closer down to like 10%, even closer now, like 6 to 8%. So you do your own comparative market analysis. You find out as much information about the property and the neighborhood so that when you do call them and say, well, what's your motivation? If you really got 259, just trying to figure out, where would you go? What would you do? Or what's really happening? And why do you want to move if you do get that amount? It's, again, just developing that relationship. So this is just in Peoria, guys. I would be scoping this site every single day so that I could find people that I could put on my follow-up system, and I can create a strategy on staying in touch and building those relationships. So these are the 2 best ways that I find Zillow on a free basis to use through the Make Me Move In for Sell by Owners. And then the third thing is just set up your account with your Berkshire email, guys. You guys will be set up already so that when you do get listings, they will be claimed only to you. And you won't have the competition of other agents, which you should be expecting leads from Zillow, quite honestly. We do have a little bit more extra inventory right now, but the market is simply just adjusting, and it's healthy, and it's, there's demand is healthy. So there's nothing to be afraid of, guys. We just need to get out there and start talking to people more and more about what's really happening. So that's just a really quick overview for Zillow. You can go and call them and get them to give you pricing information and all that. It's not cheap, guys. But for me, especially if I'm a new agent, I'm going to use the free stuff first, and then I'm going to, unless you're ready to pay to play. I would never tell you not to spend money, because if you have the budget, go do it. Go do it, because it's going to work. It's going to work regardless. You just got to be in conviction of your success and in conviction of the systems and the money that you're putting out there for your business. You got to track it, and you got to know where it's going, and you got to know how much money it's actually making you, or you got to cut it out, because it can make you bleed a lot. So that's a really quick overview of Zillow. So any questions, guys, at all on Zillow or Adwerx? Anything that you guys can think of that I can answer right now? I'm going to open it up to any questions at all. I'll just give it one more minute in case anybody has any questions. And if not, we're going to end a little bit early. That's a miracle. I was talking about 87 miles per hour today. That's why. All right, it looks like we don't have any questions, guys. So we're gonna finish a little bit early. It's 6:23. Of course, guys, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. Oh, Sandy, does Adwerx require a contract like Zillow? No, that's a good question, Sandy and Greg. They actually do not. It's a month-to-month, so you're more at freedom with them. Whereas Zillow, they get you into that 6-month contract. A little bit different, right? Less risk, that's for sure. However, I do want to say that if you are going to be doing like the zip code buying on Adwerx, you can't just do it for a month and stop and expect to pay results. Like if you are going to do something like this, think of it as like a forever campaign. Minimum, before you pull the trigger and think it's not working, minimum 6 months. So to make sure that it's actually rotating and you're creating that perception. Because remember, AdWords is it's all about branding, not necessarily lead generating. Where I've talked about Facebook advertising, where in Facebook advertising, you're offering them something of huge value in hopes that they give you their email and contact info. Whereas with AdWords, you're really just staying in front with your picture and your message over and over in front of the same people over and over. Because in the end, you're just going to drive them back to your website or to some type of landing page where you can capture them. But that's a good question. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, I guess we're going to end the webinar. I will go ahead and post the replay. Guys, I'm available for one-on-one. Please reach out to me. Regardless of your schedules, we will make it happen. I'm excited to work with each and every one of you. Very grateful to work with each and every one of you. And let's start thinking about our strategy for next year. What is it that I'm going to focus on? What activities am I going to focus on? And what activities am I doing now that are working already? And how do I really elevate them? How do I elevate them to a point where they are so good, where I'm incorporating, the traditional way of staying in front of people as well as also the digital way, so that I can really, really maximize my time, efforts, and money. So guys, here for one-on-one consultations, thank you so much for being part of the webinar tonight. Wish you guys a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you all very soon. Have a good night.